In 2010, the internet was introduced to one of its most chilling urban legends, the story of Ben Drowned. It all began when a user named Jaducible posted on 4chan, sharing a bizarre and terrifying tale about a haunted cartridge of The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. According to Jaducible, the game was cursed, filled with eerie glitches, unsettling messages, and events that defied explanation. This chapter delves into the origins of the Ben Drowned legend, exploring who Jaducible was, what he claimed to experience, and why his story captivated and terrified the online community. Jaducible's story started innocently enough. He claimed to have found the cartridge at a garage sale, intrigued by the low price and the promise of a classic game. But as soon as he started playing, things took a dark turn. The game seemed to glitch in ways that were impossible for the Nintendo 64 hardware. Characters behaved strangely. Text boxes displayed cryptic and disturbing messages, and the game appeared to react to Jaducible's actions in real time. One of the most unsettling moments came when Jaducible encountered a character named Ben. This figure, who was not part of the original game, seemed to haunt the cartridge, appearing at random intervals and altering the gameplay in terrifying ways. Ben's presence was accompanied by eerie music, distorted visuals, and messages that seemed to address Jaducible directly. The game no longer felt like a piece of software. It felt alive, and it felt malevolent. As Jaducible continued to share his experiences on 4chan, the story gained traction. Users were captivated by the idea of a haunted video game, a digital ghost story that blurred the line between reality and fiction. Some believed Jaducible's account was genuine, while others dismissed it as an elaborate hoax. But regardless of its authenticity, the story of Ben Drowned struck a chord, tapping into our collective fear of the unknown and the uncanny. The legend of Ben Drowned also raised questions about the nature of storytelling in the digital age. Was this a modern-day campfire tale, adapted for the internet era? Or was it something more sinister? A warning about the dangers of tampering with forces we don't understand. As we explore the origins of this chilling legend, one thing becomes clear. The story of Ben Drowned is more than just a creepypasta. It's a reflection of our deepest fears and our fascination with the mysterious. The haunted cartridge of The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, described by Jaducible, was unlike anything players had ever seen. It wasn't just glitches, it was as if the game had a mind of its own, reacting to the player in ways that defied logic and programming. This chapter delves into the bizarre and terrifying phenomena Jaducible encountered, exploring the events that made the Ben Drowned legend so compelling and so chilling. One of the first signs that something was wrong occurred during the game's opening sequence. Instead of the familiar intro, Jaducible was greeted with distorted music and a glitched screen. The game then reset itself, but this time the save file was already occupied by a character named Ben. When Jaducible tried to delete the file, it reappeared moments later, as if the game was resisting his actions. As Jaducible progressed, the glitches became more frequent and more unsettling. Characters in the game began to behave strangely, repeating dialogue or staring directly at the screen. Text boxes displayed cryptic messages, such as, "You shouldn't have done that," or "I'm still here." At one point, the game's iconic moon, a symbol of impending doom in Majora's Mask, appeared in places it shouldn't, its eerie face watching Jaducible's every move. The most terrifying moments came with the appearance of Ben himself. This mysterious figure, who was not part of the original game, seemed to haunt the cartridge. Ben's presence was marked by distorted visuals, eerie music, and sudden changes in gameplay. In one instance, Jadisable found himself in a version of the game's Clock Town that was completely empty, save for Ben, who stood motionless in the center. When Jadusable approached, the screen went black and a message appeared. "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" But were these phenomena real, or just an elaborate hoax? Some argued that the glitches could be explained by a corrupted cartridge or clever editing, while others believed the game was genuinely haunted. The ambiguity of Jadusable's story only added to its allure, leaving players to wonder, could a video game really be cursed? As we examine the supernatural phenomena described by Jadusable, one thing becomes clear. The story of Ben Drowned taps into our deepest fears about technology and the unknown. It's a reminder that even in the digital age, there are mysteries that defy explanation, and that sometimes the line between reality and fiction is thinner than we think. At the heart of the Ben Drowned legend lies a tragic tale. The story of a young boy named Ben, whose spirit is said to haunt the cursed cartridge of The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. This chapter explores the narrative Jadusable wove about Ben, examining the connections between his tragic backstory and the eerie events in the game. Who was Ben? And how did he become the center of one of the internet's most chilling urban legends? According to Jadusable, Ben was a young boy who had drowned under mysterious circumstances. His spirit, unable to move on, became trapped in the game Cartridge, transforming it into a vessel for his restless soul. The glitches and strange occurrences Jadusable experienced were, in his telling, manifestations of Ben's presence. The character named Ben in the game was not just a glitch. It was the ghost of the boy himself, reaching out from beyond the grave. The story took a darker turn when Jadusable claimed to have discovered more about Ben's life. He described finding old photos and documents that hinted at a troubled past, including references to bullying and neglect. These details added depth to the legend, making Ben's haunting feel more personal and tragic. But were these discoveries real, or just part of Jadusable's elaborate storytelling? One of the most haunting aspects of the Ben Drowned legend is the way Ben's story intertwines with the themes of Majora's Mask. The game itself deals with loss, grief, and the passage of time, making it a fitting backdrop for a tale of a restless spirit. The moon, a central symbol in the game, becomes a metaphor for Ben's lumen presence, a constant reminder of the tragedy that binds him to the cartridge. As the legend spread, fans began to speculate about the true nature of Ben's haunting. Some believed that Ben's spirit was trapped in the game as a form of punishment, while others thought he was seeking closure or revenge. Theories ranged from the supernatural to the psychological, with some suggesting that the haunting was a manifestation of Jadusable's own guilt or trauma. But perhaps the most compelling question is this: why did Ben's story resonate so deeply with people? Part of the answer lies in its emotional core. Ben is not just a ghost. He's a symbol of lost innocence and unfulfilled potential. His story taps into our universal fear of death and our desire to make sense of the unknown. As we explore the story of Ben, one thing becomes clear. The legend of Ben Drowned is more than just a creepypasta. It's a modern-day ghost story, a tale of tragedy and mystery that continues to captivate and unsettle those who encounter it. The legend of Ben Drowned has transcended its origins as a simple creepypasta, becoming a cultural phenomenon that continues to captivate and terrify audiences worldwide. This chapter explores the lasting impact of the Ben Drowned story, from its influence on internet culture to its role in shaping modern horror storytelling. What is it about this tale that resonates so deeply, and why does it remain relevant more than a decade after its creation? One of the most significant aspects of Ben Drowned's legacy is its role in popularizing the creepypasta genre. Before Ben Drowned, creepypastas were largely confined to niche forms and communities. But Jadusable's story, with its blend of horror, mystery, and emotional depth, brought the genre into the mainstream. It inspired countless imitations and adaptations, from written stories to YouTube videos and even video games. The legend also had a profound impact on how we think about video games and technology. Ben Drowned tapped into a growing fear of the unknown in the digital age, where the line between reality and fiction can often blur. The idea of a haunted video game cartridge resonated with a generation raised on technology, sparking discussions about the potential dangers of digital media and the power of storytelling in virtual spaces. Ben Drowned's influence extended beyond the internet, inspiring a wave of creative works. Writers, filmmakers, and game developers have drawn inspiration from the legend, creating their own stories about haunted games and digital ghosts. These works often explore similar themes of loss, grief, and the supernatural, reflecting the enduring appeal of Jadusable's original tale. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of Ben Drowned is the sense of mystery it left behind. Despite years of analysis and speculation, the true nature of the legend remains unclear. Was it a genuine haunting, an elaborate hoax, or something in between? The ambiguity of the story has allowed it to evolve and adapt, ensuring its place in the pantheon of internet folklore. As we reflect on the legacy of Ben Drowned, one thing becomes clear. The story is more than just a ghost tale. It's a reflection of our deepest fears and our fascination with the unknown. In a world where technology is constantly evolving, the legend of Ben Drowned serves as a reminder that some mysteries are never fully solved, and that sometimes the scariest stories are the ones we tell ourselves.